So guys, the quality control on the English Pokemon cards is kind of getting out of hand since the Scarlet and Violet era came out. I've noticed and documented a lot of cards that have some kind of factory damage to them, not counting the off-centered and some kind of messed up cards. I'm talking about little dings like right here. If you guys can see this one up close in this picture here. Now imagine pulling the chase card in the set when it comes out, and to your surprise or dismay, uh, factory damage. So now your $300 card is now worth $100. Maybe if somebody wants to buy it. I mean, some people are looking for cards within the binder, and some people are looking for cards to get graded. So if you're a card grader, you want to buy the best shaped cards that you can find near mint. So yeah, it really sucks. And I've wanted to make this video for a while, but I wanted a nice sample size. So I got all of my SIRs that I still have. I've sold some, traded some and stuff, but 82, 83 cards here. And we're going to tally up the damage on these. We're going to go through all of them and check them out. Most of them are in great shape. Most of them are nice cards, but some of them, and it's usually the more expensive ones, they're damaged. Okay guys, so we have a lot of cards to go through here, 80 some, so I'll go as quickly as I can, just pointing out any kind of defects that I see, the ones that I'm kind of talking about. We'll mark things off if they have a ding. We'll mark things off if the centering's far enough off to not be a PSA 10 based on the centering. So we'll kind of go into detail on those. So we'll just start here. We're going to start with Scarlet Violet base set, the first set that comes out. Looking at this card right here, this first Miriam. This one looks very nice, beautifully centered. Don't see any kind of damage at all. We'll mark this one down as being good. Miriam number 2. Now this one does have a little bit of a ding right here on top of the A in the trainer card. Other than that, the centering looks really, really great. So we'll mark this down as a ding. Up next, we got Gardevoir. Now this card looks beautiful. I don't see anything wrong with that. We'll mark it down good. And back to Miriam. This is the first Miriam we pulled the day the set came out, maybe a couple days later. We sent it in to get graded just because we were sending stuff in. I wanted to include it. I knew it was kind of skinny on top, but I was kind of hoping to get 10, but it did not. So the centering on here is bad. So we'll mark that down as being off-centered. Back to Gardevoir. Here's another prime example of a beautiful card. Looking great. Centering looks great. We'll mark that down as being good. Get into Penny. Now, I know some of these cards aren't really worth any value, but they are special illustration rares. They are the chase cards in the set. Typically, especially in this era, Penny looks good. This Penny, I don't see anything wrong with it too. You'll kind of see later on in usually some of these specialty sets where things get a lot worse. Now, this thing is just really, really off-centered, so we'll mark old Jacques down as being off-centered here. Our next Jacques right here, this one looks a little bit better, maybe a tad bit off-centered. I don't really see, sorry, some of these cards have been in these sleeves for over a year, so I was a big fan of taking a lot of these cards out of the binder and stuff like that in their protective cases and stuff, but just for the sake of making this video, I can make an exception right here. So this one, a little stuck in there, but I'd say the top looks good right here. Don't see anything wrong. Centering looks good on Great Tusk. Iron Treads SIR. This one right here does have a little ding right above the E and the EX right there, so we'll mark that down as a ding. Miraidon EX, still in Scarlet Violet base set, looking wonderful here. Just hope the camera can pick these things up. So I'll try to point everything out that I see to you guys, just in case it's not showing up that well. Spidops, yeah, Spidops is looking good. All right, now we get into Paldea Evolve, the second set here. Now this Iona looks pretty good. There might be a little bit of a ding above the A in the trainer. This corner looks pretty cut off. This one looks like it's got a nice little rolled edge to that corner. We'll mark that down as being a corner damage. This one right here, completely off-centered. Not looking good at all. It really stinks when you pull the chase card in the set and it just has something like damage already before you even of course these were all pulled by us, so these were all pack fresh condition, so nobody's put any damage on them. They go right into the sleeves, right into the binder, so there's no play wear or anything on it. Now I know it's different if I take a card and I damage it by using it or playing with it, but I expect when you pull something out of a fresh brand new pack of cards in a brand new set, the the quality control will be really, really well. This one's got a couple corner issues on here. We'll mark that down as being a corner issue. Wu Chin, let's go. Now we're getting to Obsidian Flames. We'll start with old Grusha here. Oh no, this is still Paldea Pog. Never mind. Looking good there. Won't knock that one for anything. I don't know why Giacomo is right here. Unless it got mixed in with the others. So Giacomo is looking good. There might be a little bit of a nick up there. I'm not going to count that. I can't really be super sure about it. Sorry, this is kind of starting out pretty slow with a lot of good cards. I know there's quite a few bad ones in here because every time when we make a video, I do note them in that video too. If we notice that damage right away, just so you guys can believe that they did come out of the pack that way. These aren't any kind of damages Spencer or I caused. So Chimpao right above the P does have a little ding in it right there. We'll mark it down as a ding. My major issue is the dings. You know, I get all cards can't be perfectly centered and stuff like that, but Quaquable's looking good. Skeledirge, I think is the last Paldea Evolved card right here. I don't see any dings up there. But, you know, I could grab a stack of non-holo cards, bulk cards, and go through those, and I guarantee they're all pretty much perfectly centered. So, I mean, it can be done. I don't know if they're intentionally kind of cut these off center, just they kind of, I don't know why Pokemon would do that, but Charizard here from Obsidian Flames is looking good. This next Charizard, also looking good, both centered. This one maybe has a little thing down here on the bottom. I don't know if you can kind of see that reflection here, kind of by my left thumb. I'm not going to count that. I'm not too sure about that. Again, I'd have to look at these kind of under the magnifying glass a little bit better before I'd make a complete decision on whether or not I'd send them in to get graded or not, because there's nothing worse than sending a card in like this one right here. We sent in a big submission a few months ago, and this honestly was the best looking card in the whole set under the magnifying glass. Not one single issue with it, perfectly centered. And we got a little centering tool, I don't know where I put it, but so we can line it up over there to see how well it's centered. And this one came back as a 9, which I've looked at this card for hours, and I just don't know why. Ice Cube here, looking really good. All right, we'll get back to these. We'll get through these real quick. You'll kind of start to see more of these specialty sets. Centering's a little bad on this one. We'll mark it down as being off-centered. Poppy here, you know, still an SAR, but like a $2 card. A little off-centered here. Sorry, I'm just marking these down as I go so I can get a total count. This Poppy looks good. Tad off-center, but we're not gonna knock that one. Reveroom, looking pretty good. I don't see any issues with Reveroom. So once we get into like 151 is when I really first started to know this stuff, which is coming up really soon after this Gita card. Gita is very, very off-centered. No dings though. Now, the first time I noticed this was with these Charizards. Now, I had like 7 or 8 of these, and I ended up selling like 4 or 5 of them. And they were ones that did have a ding, and of course I noted that in the listing and stuff like that. So I kind of kept the 3 best ones. So this one looks good. We also have a PSA 10 one of these too. So I think all 3 of these would be a PSA 10. So he's looking good. I don't know, there might be a little ding above that 3. I don't know if you guys can see that. We'll mark that as a ding. Blastoise cards were really bad. Like I said, I had pulled probably 10 of these Blastoise cards too, and most of them had damage. This one is a tad bit off-centered on top, but I'm not going to mark that one. It does have a ding right here, and looks like a little ding right here. And these look like dings, like it's just going through the factory, and it's banging up on something right there. So I don't know. I've never seen the factory, so I don't know how things go there. But this Blastoise is looking pretty good. Giovanni's Charisma. Centering's bad, plus this has a ding right above that P in supporter. You guys can see that's pretty obvious right there. So we'll mark that one as a ding and off-centered. Oh, Erica here has a ding. This is when I first started to really notice these. Right above the E and the R in supporter right there. You guys definitely see that. That sticks out like a sore thumb. That card is pretty well centered. We won't knock that one. Zapdos here. Zapdos has a lot of weird kind of damage on top. One here, a big old flat one here, and a little ding above the basic. We'll put that as a ding, even though it's a triple ding. Yeah, 151 was the worst. So Alakazam has something up here. I'm not going to count that one. It's pretty minimal. A Venusaur here. Now, friends of mine who's also opened up cards like this, they've had a lot of similar issues too. So it's not just me. I'd really like for you guys to kind of look through your SIRs and see if maybe you got some of these factory dings. Kind of look like it got a little better once we kind of got out of 151 into a Paradox Rift here. Goldingo looking nice and smooth. There's something down here a little bit. This Goldingo is definitely off center. It's kind of top heavy there. We'll just mark it for the sake of marking that. Rika here. Rika looking really smooth. Sorry guys, trying to hurry through this. I don't want to keep this video too long. Thanks for watching. Going through every card with me. Definitely dings up here on Mela, right above the supporter. So I think we have 83 cards here in total, so we'll kind of get a percentage of dinged up cards. And this is just the ones I have, guys. Trust me, I have traded and gotten rid of some of the ones that have major dings up there to people who just need something to put in their binder and weren't looking to grade, not like a near mint condition, but like a light played condition, and the price them accordingly. Sandy Shocks, we do see a ding right there. So we got 10 dings so far. Iron Hands looking good. I did pull one Iron Hands that was maybe a little ding above the basic. I don't know. We won't be a stickler on that. Tapu Koko, little top heavy there, a little too much, I imagine, to be a PSA 10. All right, another specialty set. This is kind of where I see the damage the most in these specialty sets. This one wasn't so bad. Glycopod looking good. This Charizard right here, like I said, we did get this 9 on this one for whatever reason. This has a little corner. I don't know if that could just be... I'm not going to count that one. I'm not too sure if that's just a doodad on the card. So this one does have, right, the A of Charizard, does have a nice little ding. What a shame for such a beautiful card. Gardevoirs, this one's looking pretty fancy and good. This one's looking really good. Tiny bit off-centered. Not going to count that, though. This Gardevoir looking good. Hey, Gardevoir passed the test. Ooh, Mew, what a wonderful card right here. Perfect. This Mew right here. Yep, I don't see anything wrong. Iono, definitely a big old ding on top of that supporter. All right, this Iono here, looking good. Way to go. Man, another Iono. This one looking good too. Let's go. Old Clive Owen himself. What a cool card. Looking good. Trying to hurry through these guys. Don't want to waste too much of your time with this, but it is something that I think really needs to be talked about. You guys can talk about it in the comments too. Am I being a little overcritical? Maybe a little bit, but I don't know. Like I said, I wanted to make this video for a long time, but I really wanted a nice sample size. I wish I would have kind of took little clips of the other cards that I had traded off to, because like I said, there's probably 15 or so that are no longer here. Of course, I can't count those in the video. Morty, hey, looking good. Eerie looking great. Salvatore, I did buy this card, so I can't really speak for it. Walking Wake. Yeah, Walking Wake looking good. All right, now we're getting to some really new stuff. Kyrian, awesome. This Kyrian here, great. Tail Mask, Ogerpon. Do we see any damage? Well centered, way to go. Perrin here. Perrin might be a tad bit off centered, but I'm not going to count that. Blood Moon Ursaluna, I did buy this card. Count that. Lana's Aid, probably our most recent pull here. We'll say that one's a little off centered. Cassiopeia, guys. Cassiopeia does have a ding up there. In our last few, we got old Okidogi, looking good, tad bit off centered. Petrant looking good, tad bit off centered. Pheasantipity, perfect. And let me look. Pheasant dip, yeah, it's got a little, yeah, that's enough to count it, I would say. And our last one here, Old Monkey Dory, looking perfect. Okay, so here are the marks that I gave him. So we had 15 with dings. Like I said, there's probably 15 more that had them, but for the sake of this video, 15 out of 82. 12 out of 82 were off-centered enough where I didn't think it would get a PSA 10. And 2 had some kind of weird corner damage on them. So tell me what you guys think, man. Try to imagine that a new set comes out and the chase card is, oh, let's say Cassiopeia right here. So you pull Cassiopeia. We pulled this one on day one. Got to looking at it. It's just like, well, there goes the value of this card. It will never be worth near mint. It will never be a gradable card because when I'm getting cards to send to grading, I do everything in my power to make sure I am only sending in cards that I know should come back as a 10. And I know I don't see every defect like they do. I'm sure they got better scanning stuff than I have, and it kind of goes to show, sometimes I know they're not going to be a 10, but we just want to get it graded anyway. And sometimes I think it's a 10, and I don't know why, you know, we got some decent cards here that do come back as 10s, but a lot of these are sword and shield era cards. So there's one SAR here. This cool Charizard. So yeah, tell me in the comments you guys agree or disagree. Like I said, am I being overcritical? Because we open a lot of packs here, so we spend a lot of money on these cards. We don't really sell a lot. We're more into kind of trading for stuff that we need later on. And I'm not really big on buying individual cards too, because as a YouTube channel, we want to make videos where we're opening cards and having fun and sharing that with you guys. But every once in a while, we kind of got to get a little serious here and make some videos that may be controversial. And I just think the quality control of English Pokemon cards has been slipping. So, like I said, comment below, tell me what you think, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Our comments or our content's usually a lot more fun than this and a lot less of me talking. It's more about the cards. So if you like videos like that, check us out. We have a Discord up now. I don't really have it fully going yet, but you guys are more than welcome to get on there. I'll put the link in the pinned comments so you guys can join, chit chat with us in live time, and all that good fun stuff. So we'll see you guys later. Have a wonderful day.